Well, hello everybody. It is 6:30 on Tuesday, which means it's time for another episode of Tiger Steel, where we make great cards. And Howdy, I know I say this all the time, but do I have a great card for you tonight? I will be casing Jodian Peters, uh, and she is uh, an artisan demonstrator designer from Denmark, I think. Anyway, she does all these fancy layers all the time, which is the kind of card that I really like. And so I saw this one and I thought, I can do that, and my people can do that. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. Um, so before I get very much started, let me just see if I can see some chats. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Susan Bischoff. Hi, Liz and Gloria. Uh, Sound is iffy. Uh, oh, oh, I'm not sure. Hope is a little low, kind of far away. So let's see. What happens if I this? That's going to be, let's see. I'm not sure which, which setting to adjust, but oh, let me see. Hold on. I think I've got it. If that's any better, let me know, guys, if that's any better. So, hi, Diana. Also, let me know if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, and where you're listening from. I'm still trying to make this work so that I can stream to both places at one time. Um, and does it still sounds like it's in a tunnel, huh? All right. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm gonna just have to. I'm gonna have to go with it. Um, it's not any better. Hmm. Well. Let me just see this real quick. I'm better when I get closer. Like just now. Okay, I'll try and see. Maybe that'll help. I can use my teacher voice. I used to be a teacher for many years of my life. All right. So I think I'm live in both places, Facebook and YouTube. So that's a good thing. So let me just quickly go over the Stampin' Up! News that we've got going. The product of the month is the printed vellum that is just gorgeous. We used it last week, and you have a few more days for that. Well, actually, it might go into June, but I did see that there is a stamp set that's going to be the product of the month of June, and it's got some cute little critters, and I can't remember what it's called. It's got like a bull and I can't remember what else, but some cute little animals, and these are cute. Um, Gloria and I were talking the other day, and I said, you know, those turtles that they brought out, they weren't very cute turtles, I didn't think. But these are cute, cute critters. And so that's going to be available in June. But anyway, the product of the month for May is the vellum, and it is $5 with a qualifying order, which in the United States is $75. So if we're spending that much anyway, you might as well add the product of the month to your cart for $5. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is Paper Pumpkin. It's called Bikes and Blooms, and you get 9 cards. Uh, you get materials to make 9 cards, three each of 3 different designs. And you have until June 10th to sign up for the Paper Pumpkin. There's only a few days left for our join offer for May. Um, so if you get a starter kit, it costs $99, and with that you get to select $125 worth of items, and that's always a good deal. That's our regular starter kit deal, right? $99, you get to pick $125 worth of stuff. Well, on top of that, during the month of May, for about 5 more days, uh, they're going to throw in all 5 of the brand new in color ink pads that are in the brand new super cool style. Uh, so that is a great, great deal. They're going to just throw that in on top of it. So if you're interested at all in getting a starter kit and getting help with that, then let me know. Let's talk about um, do we want to see the card first, or do we want to talk about? Let's just talk about some of the things we're going to be using tonight. One of the things that we're going to be using tonight. Now, this card, when when I selected it to do, I did not realize how many different sets of things this crazy artisan designer uh, is using. So hang with me here. Uh, One of the things that we're going to be using tonight is this Boutique Blossoms dies set. We're going to be using, I think, two of the flower dies here for from this set. And then we're also going to be using the Nature's Symphony dies, that large leaf there. We're going to be using it. And then we're going to be using the Simply Beautiful dies. What are we using on this? The flower centers. We're using just the flower centers from this die set. Uh, hey, Tina. Uh, uh, and then also we're using the Valley in Bloom DSP. And this is really, really pretty DSP. Um, and for our sentiment, we are using the Lovely Arrangement stamp set. Now, all these dies in this stamp set all come in bundles, and you can save 10% getting the stamps and the dies together than you can individually. But today I just listed them individually because I'm using just the dies in some cases and just the stamps in some cases. But you can always get it in a bundle if you want. And then we're going to also use this Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder, and just wait till you see that. It is pretty amazing. And I even left one of the things out, so I'll talk about that here in a second. So yeah, that's everything. So let me switch my camera down and go here, and we'll take a look. Oh, hold on, I got to go back up here. We'll take a look at the cards that we're going to be making tonight. Now, this card is just, it's got it all. You know, I am the kind of guy that likes the cards that have it all. And this one definitely has it all. And I just thought it was so much fun to put together. And I thought I needed to bring it to you to show you guys. how to do it. Look at all that. Look at all that fun and goodness on this card. And can you imagine uh, sending this in the mail and pulling this out of the envelope? What your recipient is going to think when you um, when they pull it out of the envelope. Um, and one of you has the chance to win this card tonight just by commenting. You can either comment on YouTube or Facebook. And hey, Cheryl, glad to see you. Well, I don't see you, but glad you're here. um, and one of you, like I was saying, if you comment during tonight's video, either on Facebook or YouTube, then your name will go into a drawing to win this card. Well, not this one, the one that I'm getting ready to make. Um, and if you share tonight's video, then your name will go in, or you'll have two chances. You'll just need to make a comment that you've shared because Facebook doesn't always let me know who has shared the video, and I'm not that familiar with what YouTube allows either. So, like Tina's already put her comment right there. She says, "I shared the video." Her name is going to go in twice. Because she commented that she shared the video. Oh, and look, Liz says, nice card. I gotta see if I can hide. Okay, good. All right, so let's get started on making this card. I do have the measurements right here, the cutting measurements for everything that you need to cut. If you're watching the video back, you can pause it and write down all that. But we're going to start with a Coastal Cabana card base that is 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to score it on the long side at 4.25. And I'm going to get my phone folder and just burnish that really good so that it tends to lay flat. But this is my original bone folder that I got from Carol Jones's Card Club. She got me this one year during Card Club. And I think of her every time I use it. All right. Then I have an inside mat that is basic white, and it is 4 by 5.25. And I'm going to go ahead and get this put on the inside, get it out of my way, and it makes me feel like I've accomplished something already. Hey, Jill, glad you're here. All right, there we are. We're already on our way. Now, here is this Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder, and it just has so much, it just adds so much dimension to your card. And it's a very easy tool to do that and add so much interest to it. And so I've got a piece of Coastal Cabana here that I've already run through uh, the cut and emboss machine with that die. And I don't know if it shows up very well, but it's just super, super dimensional and textured. All right. And to bring out that texture and show it off a little bit more, I'm going to get my Whisper White ink pad. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn it over and rub it, drag it along the top of this embossed piece. And that's just going to bring out so much of the texture. It's going to just show it off. Now, let me have you take a look at that and see if, can you see all that texture now? I mean, it's just popping off the cardstock there. I do need to kind of clean up here real quick, or I'll have white ink everywhere. So that was very easy to do. You just put your piece of cardstock in your embossing folder, run it through, and then take your ink pad, turn it upside down, and just drag it across. Now here I've used white, and but I've also seen it done very well with other colors and black as well. Black is a good choice if you're doing your card. All right. Is that a new embossing folder? Well, Liz, I'm not sure. I'm never sure what's new anymore. You know, um, we've got so many options. We've got a big catalog. Well, I guess the big catalog is retired now. And we've got the mini catalog. We've got online exclusives. But I do know it's current. I don't know if it's brand new or what, but I do know it is current. And it is great. Um, you need to add it to your list of things to get. And so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the card front. Make sure I'm on the right spot. And then I like it how it just kind of, this is the same color as my card base, but when you rub the ink pad over it, it lightens it and it gives it a subtle different color, and some nice contrast. All right, now I have another mat that I'm going to use that is basic white, and it is 4.5 by 3.25. Move that out of the way for a second because we're going to start layering some stuff. And then I have another mat that is Coastal Cabana that is, what is it, 4.25 by 5. That's going to layer there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So when I'm talking about layers, this card has so many layers. We're not even close to getting it all together yet. Okay, so that's going to layer on there. And then I have a piece of DSP. And this is from that Lilies in Bloom, or I can't remember the name of it, but it goes with the Lilies of the Valley suite. It's part of that. And it's going to layer on top of here. And it is 4 by 2.75. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that as well. Liz, I love layers too. All right. All right. This is all going to go here, but before I do that, I have 2 more patterns from the DSP set that are going to layer on top of here, and I'm going to do some tearing. Now, I cut it the same size as this piece, which is 4 by 2.75, because I'm going to tear it, and you can see that it's just a background element, and a lot of it gets covered up. So I'm going to try and get it a little bit longer than what I ended up on this card. Now, this card is beautiful. I would be very proud to send this card. I am just going to try and get that background element just a little bit longer. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear the top and the bottom of this piece. And I'm tearing towards me because I kind of like that little white edge that you get when you tear. If you don't like that white edge, then tear the other direction, tear away from your glue. All right. I think that might be a little bit better since if I don't want to cover up that background pattern too much. So I'm going to do just a little bit more here. It's a negotiation of how much. We've got three different patterns and I want them all to show. All right, I like that a little bit better. At least the pattern shows at the top and the bottom there. And then now this green one is going to layer on top as well. So I'm going to I'm going to tear this here. And I'm going to tear this here. And I'm going to try and not be too evenly across. All right, so if I do that, not much of the blue is showing behind there. So I just need to tear some more. And I'm going to tear this one. Hi, Anita. Now, I'm not too, you know, worried about any of this because these are just background elements, but that's about it. That's about it what I wanted. And it is a little bit longer than the one I did as the example. And so I'm happy with, sorry, I walked away to the trash can. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna adhere this one. And see, this is front and back. If I wanted to rough up the edges a little bit more, I could take some time to do that, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I might if I was making this card again. And this is going to layer on top of there. So, who's counting layers? Anybody counting layers tonight? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven so far. All right, look at that. Isn't that fun? Isn't that? I think it's just beautiful too. So now, now that we've got our mats down, I am good to go with adhering this to the card. So I'm going to go ahead and um, add some liquid glue here. I am going to have to use this embossing folder more and do this technique. It is just popping up. All right. Look at the foundation that we have built on our card. It is just gorgeous. Yes, Birdie does love her players. That's one of the reasons why she's one of my favorites. So um, that is the foundation of our card. I'm going to set it aside for a second, and I'm going to bring over all the die cut pieces that we need. So here is that large leaf, one of those. Remember, oh, before I go any further, here is one of the die sets that I forgot to include in my little graphics, at the beginning of the video. And I was just like, I can't even do another graphic. There's so many, but we use this die right here for one of the flowers, and then I use these little tiny flowers. So that's all we're using from this set. But I mean, when I looked at her card, I thought, oh, that's not too many pieces. But she got them from several different die sets. So we need this large flower, we need this medium flower. Where is our, and and we need this fun flower in white. So those are my basic white pieces. Then we have uh, this little decorative piece, and that is out of Granny Apple Green. Hold on, I'm having trouble picking these up, so I need to use my take your pick tool to pick them up. Here's a flower center that we're going to use, and it's Coastal Cabana. And those little flowers that I just showed you, you need 3 from, oh, what color is that? Hold on one second. It is Darling Duckling. So 3 from Darling Duckling, and you need 2 from Coastal Cabana. And so those are our die cut pieces that we're using tonight. All right. So the very first thing that we're going to put on is this decorative piece. And it's just going to go in this corner here. Just wherever you think. It's just accent piece gets mostly covered up, but it's going to go up in that corner area. And this has fine areas. And so I'm going to get my fine tip glue gun. And I'm just going to dot on some glue. This glue gun makes it very easy to do that. It is not a Stampin' Up product, but I do love it. So this is Granny Apple Green. I'm trying to decide. I don't want to cover up those torn edges too much, so I'm scooting it down. So it just goes in the corner. Again, it is a background layer. And then we are going to adhere this large leaf die. Again, it is a background layer. And I'm just dotting this glue on. And then kind of shaping this one. because I want the top of it to go here, and then I want the bottom one to kind of point down here. So I am kind of shaping it as I put it on. All right. So on top of our foundation so far, we have adhered this green, granny apple green accent piece, and then this large white leaf. And now we are going to add some flowers. And so the very first flower I'm going to add is this large one. And I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals. I'm going to bring over some dimensionals. And luckily, nothing goes underneath it, so I don't have to worry too much about um, where I place my dimensionals. Just trying to make sure. I think right here, it is kind of centered. So right there, we're going to commit and go right there. And then I'm going to take this flower and get a mini dimensional. It's going to come up here. And then this flower is going to go between them. Oops, put it on the front. Okay, something like that. So flower, flower, flower on top of the white leaf. So we've got some tone on tone going to go on. It's going to go on here. I'm going to layer a couple of these little flowers on top of the big one. That's going to go there. Birdie and used a different embossing folder. Not this stone and vine one, and I love it. Um, and she used a different sentiment than I'm using. And so I'm just saying, when you're getting your inspiration from somebody, you can you can keep it just the way they do it, or you can change up a little bit, and it still is a tribute to them, and uh, turns out to be a beautiful card. So I'm going to put one of these down here, and then this remaining blue one down there too. All right. Look at all that. It's just, it's so much, and I love it. All right. My sentiment, I stamped in basic black. No, memento. Sorry, it's memento. And then die cut it again with another die set that I did not mention before. It's with the Stylish Shapes die set, and it's a pretty much a standard die set uh, that we use all the time. And I'm just looking at it, it's going to go right about there. And so I can use a dimensional here, and I can use a dimensional here. So I'm going to put a mini dimensional on either side, either end. Who wants to win this card? I'm so excited. I get so excited to find out who wins the card. You know, I just imagine that. And then when you guys get the card in the mail from me, then you have a sense of what it's like for someone that you're sending it to. That one doesn't want to come off, so I'm just going to grab another one. You get a sense of what they feel when they're opening the card, and you it reinforces why we make cards and why we send them out. A little off center here. Oh, a little bit. See if I can fix it real quick. It's just a hair. There we go. It was just a hair. Let me make sure I'm straight. Okay, here we go. That's better. It's just a hair crooked. Probably no one would notice but us. And look at that. Look at all those layers. I lost count. I forgot to keep counting. And I have one more thing that I'm going to add. Now she had dots on hers, and I couldn't determine what dots they were. Um, so went through my stash, and I found the Sunset Sparkle sequins, and these right here. It's really not the same blue, but when you put them on the card, it seems like it was made for it. And so I'm just going to add 3 little sequins to our beautiful card here. One that's going to go right there. And then here. And all right, let me put this away real quick. And let's admire this for just a second. Let's just take it in for a second. Look at this beautiful card. And I changed the sentiment. Hers said, "Hello, friend," I believe. And I think this would make a beautiful birthday card. So I found a birthday sentiment. But you know, that's the great thing. This would work as a beautiful sympathy card, a birthday card, an anniversary card, just by changing out the sentiment. Look at all this stuff. Don't you just love it? Or is it just me? All right. So hold on. Let me see if I can make this work. Oh, I got to do it here. Sorry. There it is. Finally popped up. So